What would you do if your partner, child, or friend shared a deep secret with you? But the secret they shared with you is your secret that they should have no knowledge of. Or the very sight of crosses, Bibles, churches, or any religious artifact for that matter suddenly freaks them out when before they either loved or were apathetic to the existence of these holy things. What would you think? And more food for thought. What if this person began to speak in languages they've never known? These are just a scratch of the surface when it comes to signs of demonic possession. We've all heard about it. Many movies about demonic possession have been made for our scary pleasure. But what if, for just 1 second, you think someone you know has become fully possessed by a demonic entity? What would you do? Hello there. Welcome. Thank you for joining me in another night filled with tales of terror. Tonight's video is all about demonic possession. Now, I know that we've all heard a lot of true accounts of demonic possession, but in this video, we might just have a story in there that is not so true. We'll see. But before we begin, I just want to say hello. My name is Girl Griffin, and I just want to say thank you for checking out my channel, Scary Girl Griffin. Also on this channel, everything that you hear is either factual or fictional or somewhere in between. But I will always tell you at the end of each video just what it is that you heard. So it's time to get started. But before we begin, get comfortable, click the like and subscribe buttons, turn down the lights, and let's begin. In March of 1949, a story hit the newspapers that no one would ever expect. It was reported that a 12 to 14-year-old boy known as Robbie or Roland Doe was possessed by a demonic entity and an exorcism had taken place. Here is an account of what happened to the boy known as Roland Doe. Roland was born and raised in a German Lutheran family in 1935. There he lived with his mother, father, and grandmother in Cottage City, Maryland. Roland was known by his peers as quiet, not popular with the other kids, and primarily interested in his studies. Not having any playmates, Roland developed a great bond with his Aunt Harriet. She was a spiritualist and had gifted Roland with a Ouija board. She taught him about spiritualism and how to contact spirits with the Ouija board. She died shortly after. It's speculated that in his despair, Roland attempted to contact his Aunt Harriet with the Ouija board, but instead, a demon answered. Strange things began to happen in the early part of 1949. Roland began to suffer relentless torment. Roland told his family that he could hear someone walking around in his bedroom at night as he tried to sleep. Then scratching sounds in the walls and under Roland's bed started, followed by scratch marks on his mattress. Bruises, scratches, and welts began to appear on Roland's body as Roland's temperament became unpredictable. He became withdrawn and erratic. Not knowing what to do, Roland's parents sought the help of psychiatrists and doctors. None were able to help Roland. Afraid for their son, Roland's parents contacted their Lutheran pastor, Miles Schultz. He arranged for Roland to stay an evening in his home to observe him. While Roland was there, Pastor Schultz watched as Roland was violently thrown from a chair, and his furniture and objects inside his house moved on their own. The bed Roland slept in began to shake so violently that Pastor Schultz had to pull him from it. Unable to help Roland, Pastor Schultz quickly advised Roland's parents to contact a Catholic priest. Roland's parents took him to St. James Catholic Church. They met with a young priest by the name of Father Albert Hughes. When Roland entered Father Hughes's office, the temperature dropped several degrees. It was quickly evident to Father Hughes that there was definite evil inside of Roland when his telephone flew off his desk while talking to him. Furthermore, Roland began to speak in Latin, a language Roland had never known nor studied. After receiving the approval for an exorcism, Roland was taken to a room at Georgetown University Hospital. Within only a few minutes into the exorcism, Roland slipped one of his hands out of his restraint, broke off a bed spring from under the bed, and slashed Father Hugh's arm, causing an immediate halt to the exorcism. Back at home, Roland's condition began to deteriorate even further. Words in the form of gashes on his skin began to appear. When the word Lewis appeared on Roland's body, Roland's family took it as a sign to take Roland to St. Louis, Missouri, his mother's hometown. Roland's case was brought to Father Bishop and Father Bowden in St. Louis. The two agreed to see Roland. When they arrived at Roland's home, they witnessed Roland's bed shaking and objects flying across the room. They also saw Roland's hatred for anything sacred as he spoke in a guttural voice. The priest prayed over Roland. Father Bowden placed a crucifix under Roland's pillow before leaving. When the family entered Roland's room, they saw furniture flipped over. The crucifix had moved to the edge of the bed as it shook violently. So, another exorcism was granted. Roland was taken to the Alexian Brothers Hospital in South St. Louis. Father Bowden was assisted by Father Halloran and Father Van Roo. During the exorcism, the words evil and hell appeared on Roland's body along with other marks. Roland's bed shook violently as the priests prayed the litany of saints. He made lewd gestures while cursing the priests. Roland vomited, urinated, and spat at great lengths across the room. He spoke Latin in a low and guttural, demonic voice. At the completion of Roland's exorcism, the sound of a loud thunderclap or shotgun blast was heard while Roland's body spasmed one last time. The demon was no longer in Roland. Los Angeles, California, 1982. Raymond Lopez was living a fun and exciting life. The 80s were coming into full swing with all the bright colors, larger-than-life hair and clothing styles. It was an era of anything and everything all the time, an era of indulgence. Raymond was in his early 20s when this all happened. Coming from a lower-income family was something Raymond had always struggled with. Apparently, he always thought life should be better. Things should come to him easier than with his overworked mom and dad. He was still living with his parents, Armando and Liliana, and two sisters, Annette and Rebecca, in a modest 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house in downtown Los Angeles. He worked full-time as a bartender in an upscale Hollywood nightclub where he saw lots of money, women, drugs, and alcohol. Raymond was a good-looking guy. Everyone seemed to want to know him or be a part of his inner circle. He attracted people. It was usual for Raymond to have a hookup by night's end with some saucy lady, young or old. He really didn't mind. He thought he was living the good life. Women paying for his drinks, giving him rides everywhere, and lots of drugs. With all kinds of people coming to the club, Raymond made a lot of acquaintances, but not everyone was there to have a good time dancing and drinking. Some had sinister ideas and wanted Raymond to be a part of them. It was one evening in late October, Raymond met a woman named Agatha. He really fell for her. There was something dark and enchanting about her. Raymond began to spend more time with her to the point he considered her his girlfriend. Agatha told Raymond she was a witch and practiced the dark arts. He didn't care. He liked her and wanted to be with her. She would work her magic spells and meditations while Raymond was there. She even got him to prick his finger for his blood in a dark wedding ceremony they did together. Shortly after that, Raymond came down with a fever. He became very ill to the point he was missing a lot of work. He was back at home with his parents and sisters. He became so ill, he began having nightmares and hallucinations. The doctors decided that he had probably contracted some sort of infection due to his lifestyle and all the crazy people he was always surrounded by. One night, his parents and sisters woke to Raymond screaming and scratching at his body. He said, "They're trying to get inside of me. They won't let me go." The following morning, Agatha showed up at Raymond's parents' house but was turned away. His parents did not like the looks of her, and they sensed she was not good for Raymond. Shortly after, a loud banging sound blared from Raymond's bedroom. It scared them all. Raymond's father burst into the room and was horrified by what he saw. Raymond was levitating. His arms and legs drooped weakly beside his body. It looked like something was holding him. Raymond's mother looked in behind Raymond's dad and screamed. Then Raymond dropped back down onto his bed. As the days passed, Raymond grew violent and angry. He would say horrible things to his sisters and spew insults at his parents. After some interviews with Raymond by priests and psychologists, it was determined that Raymond was indeed under demonic possession. In early December, the exorcisms began. Whatever was inside of Raymond fought hard to keep him. During the exorcism, Raymond would grow incredibly strong and try to attack some of the nuns and other priests in the room. He levitated. He spoke in what sounded like tongues. In the end, Raymond's exorcism was a success. God had prevailed and the demonic forces were driven out of him. Since then, Raymond stopped working at the nightclub, got into college, and has become a Catholic priest. His exorcism lasted 7 days. Okay, so what did you think about these stories here? Were you able to figure out which one is a work of fiction? Well, if you guessed it was Raymond, you'd be correct, because Raymond is a character that I created while writing the story for this video tonight. So it's looking like it's time to wrap things up. But before you go, I want to remind you to go ahead and check out some of my other videos for more of your scary entertainment. And to be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons, leave me a message or a comment down below, and prepare for more tales of terror delivered to you weekly at 3 a.m. So, until next time, stay safe and stay scary.